Was that the second one? I'm gonna start charging you. Ten seconds. Christine, are you ready at your station? And time. Thank you very much, all of you. Let's give them a big clap. All right, so now is the time for the managers to speak up. Christine is going to indicate on the board here in front of you 4 levels of performance and task achievement. 1 is for below expectations, 2 is for meeting expectations, 3 is for, what's that? Above expectations. Yep, and 4 is for outstanding. So we're going to ask the managers, starting with Florentina, passing onward to Arwa and David, individually focusing on their employees. How much do they give them as a score for what they've done just in front of us today? Starting with Florentina quickly. How much do you give George on his balloon dog? A 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4?
I'd give George a 2.
She gives George a 2. Give me 3 reasons why you give George a 2.
Well, I wouldn't call it below expectations because he managed to do something about the dog. It's on its way to developing a behavior, so it must be encouraging, right?
So if you summarize the 3 key points that have driven you to say 2, what would they be so that you can write them down?
I don't understand, I'm sorry.
Just summarize those 3 reasons. So first of all, you said managed to do something about the dog, developed a behavior. Can you give me a third one?
It's not above the expectations because it can, there's always space for doing better.
Improvements.
Yeah, for better performance.
Right, thank you very much. So there is always room for better improvement. And that's the third reason. Thank you very much, Florentina. Moving on with Arwa.
Yeah, just check number 3 is excellent, right?
Number 3 is actually above expectations.
Yeah.
4 is outstanding.
No, she's above expectation because she focused on the balloon and she tried many times. She did not waste her time. She's looking here and there.
Okay, hold on. So she is above expectations because number 1.
Yeah, she did it on time.
She did on time. Number
2. She asked for the help. She was looking at me and she asked for my help.
She asked for the help. And number 3.
She did not waste time.
She did not waste time. And that's the 3 reasons for Arwa. And
serious.
let's write down, took it seriously. Right, David, you know the drill.
So, on from 1 to 4, I think from delivery perspective, probably 0. But for,
no 0.
Well, it has to be 1 then. But in terms of the effort put in, I think she deserves a lot for effort because you never ever gave up. You never ever gave up. You tried lots of different ways.
David, slow down. We need to write it down. So the number 1 reason is?
You never gave up.
Never gave up.
Although she failed this time, I know that eventually she'll get it.
All right. So eventually he believes that she's going to get it. That's another reason. And third reason?
And the third reason is she was watching other people, so she was learning from observing her colleagues.
So experiential learning and learning by observing.
Absolutely right. Yes.
Thank you very much, all of you, for the feedback you gave us. And let's give them another big clap. Thank you very much. You can go back to your seats. Yes, you can keep it, take it home. Let me talk to the audience now. Now it's your turn. I'm sure if I ask you what do you think about those balloon dogs, each one of you is going to give something different. And you have your own reasons for that. Do you agree? Now, can I say that the reasons that Florentina's given us for scoring a 2 for George, or for Arwa scoring a 3 for Roberta, or for David scoring 1 for Nitu, can I say that they're wrong?
Point of view.
Okay.
They supported their ideas.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So, does everyone agree with, what's your name? Ala. Does everyone agree with Ala that we cannot blame those managers for scoring in different scores depending on what they think? Now, I'm assuming that everybody agrees to that because nobody has said no. So the next question would be, if George has to work with another manager in a different shift because he changes his rosters and he still believes that his task is going to be the same, producing the same kind of job in that balloon dog, is it fair that the other manager is gonna assess him based on a different set of point of views and parameters in his mind? Is it fair?
Not fair.
It's not fair. So what do you think is the answer to that?
No, first of all, it's a new task for all of them, and the manager was measuring their performance based on something that they've never done. So they might, as we can see, we have different scores. So it shows that some managers, they were supporting their team, but at the same time, for me, this is not the right way to measure the performance of our people, because we won't be fair. It's a new task.
So what is a fair thing to you in this case?
To let them practice it, and then you can give a fair feedback for them.
Okay, what's your name?
Dania.
Dania, thank you very much. I still want to hear more about this. What is a fair thing in this case? Because we agree that this is not... Yes. Your name, please?
My name is Desi. I think in order to assess them fairly, you would need to set expectations. So this is the criteria against which we're going to measure you, and everybody is going to be measured in the same way.
When you say set the expectations, what do you mean by that?
So have criteria for measurement, and let the people know beforehand that they will be measured either on effort or on final result or on time or whatever the criteria.
Do you mean competencies?
Yes.
Yes, who said that? Right, so you believe in this. So tell us, what could be a set of competencies for making a balloon dog in this case?
First of all, there's no standard of performance. There's no standard operating procedure. They haven't been trained on how to do this. I, as a manager, don't know how to do it. So where's the standard? Where's the competency? And how am I going to assess him, bless him? I don't know if I can do the dog.
Thank you very much. I think the picture is clear. I need to get faster and get going before we end this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, what we need here, and this is one of the answers we give to managers when they ask us about performance appraisals and why they fail, or why sometimes employees think is not fair, is because we need some kind of a set of competencies to define a certain task that we do. So with the objectives, we have competencies, which can be, as you probably all know, knowledge-based, skill-based, or even behavioral, attitudinal-based, which would complement a job. So what could be a set of competency, a quick one, 2 or 3 ones, that we need to put in mind when you're assessing a balloon dog experiment? Could time be one of them, managing time? Yeah. Could it be hand skills and determination and focus? Learning by doing? So when we set all those competencies in place, then it would be a fair assessment. And when we do those appraisals in this way, this is where we are benefiting in the appraisal. This is where the employee says it's not painful anymore. It's not only about money, it's about my own improvement, about my career development, about my career path in the organization. Do you agree? Great. Now, this topic was waffle. And this time, it's not about waffling in the W-A-F-F-L-E-S. Christine, what do we talk about waffles here? We're talking about W-A-F-L, and I call it like that because this is a 4-letter technique that will help managers waffle with their employees in the beginning of the year, after the planning stage, where we set up the objectives and the expectations for the tasks required and the targets required, numbers, the big numbers that they're supposed to achieve, especially if it's a selling organization. But there are a set of competencies behind that. Now, usually what organizations do, they focus only on the objectives and achieving the objectives, and they forget about the competencies. Those competencies are what we are after here. This is what we coach people on. For people who are coaches in this workshop, they understand very well what I'm talking about. You cannot coach people on the results, can we? We coach only on actions that will lead to those results, correct? So what we're trying to do here is trying to waffle. At Cornerstone Training Solutions, we conduct workshops for managers because they need to develop themselves and learn about coaching, because sometimes they shy away from this. And then once they're confident to do it, they will not tell you anymore, I don't have time. They will love to do it because they're helping people develop. One of the key performance areas and KPIs of managers, which is sometimes gets overlooked, which is development of self, as you all know, and development of others. And this is where waffle kicks in. So after the planning stage, we waffle. After the review stage, we waffle. And what is waffle? Christine will tell us about that. We accompany the employees during their job It's on the job. We look at the set of competencies required for that employee to perform a certain task, sell a certain number. And then we have 3 types of accompaniments: observation accompaniment, and demonstration accompaniment, or joint accompaniment. And to do that, we need to assess them, so it's an A of a double edge, assess them based not like what Florentina has done, or Arwa has done, or David has done. And I'm not blaming them, because we don't have anything in place for them in the first place. But once that framework is in place for them, then they can follow that religiously, objectively, to be fair. So employees stop saying that, yeah, the other manager assessed me like this, but the other one assessed me like that. Then we are uniform, and we talk the same language in any organization. This is how performance appraisals will succeed. At the same time, we write the evidence of the good and bad performance, or the one that needs improvement. And we give feedback on the spot, and we discuss the learning. The waffle technique is a very simple technique that we talk about, and we advise people and managers to follow. We train them on that. Our workshops follow the same kind of thing. It's experiential. People learn by doing, and that's how they do it. Remember the waffle technique, the healthy recipe for performance appraisals. If you'd like to know more about this, come and see us at the stand 340. Thank you very much.